Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing around lately. The idea that eating less protein might slow down aging. Sounds intriguing, right? But here's the thing. The evidence isn't as clear-cut as some headlines make it seem. Personally, I think this is a perfect example of how nutrition science can be both fascinating and frustrating at the same time. Let me break it down for you. First off, protein is everywhere these days. Protein powders, protein bars, protein yogurt. It's like the golden child of the nutrition world. And for good reason. Protein is essential for muscle repair, tissue maintenance, and overall health. But now, a new review of over 350 studies suggests that cutting back on protein might be linked to healthier aging. What makes this really interesting is that most of the evidence comes from animal studies, not humans. So, should we all start slashing our protein intake? Not so fast. Here's where it gets tricky. The studies show that in animals like mice, rats, and even flies, lower protein diets are associated with longer lifespans and healthier aging. But, and this is a big but, these animals live in controlled environments where researchers can tweak their diets with precision. Humans? Not so much. We're complex creatures with varying lifestyles, diets, and genetics. What works for a mouse in a lab might not translate to a 40-year-old human juggling work, family, and a love for pizza. One thing that immediately stands out is the focus on specific amino acids, like methionine, isoleucine, and valine. These are the building blocks of protein, and restricting them seems to have similar benefits to cutting protein overall. But here's the kicker. In humans, protein doesn't come in isolation. It's part of food, legumes, nuts, meat, dairy. So, if you're cutting protein, what are you actually cutting out? And what are you replacing it with? This raises a deeper question. Is it the protein itself, or the overall diet, that's making the difference? Take the Mediterranean diet, for example. It's packed with moderate amounts of protein from sources like fish, legumes, and nuts, but it's also rich in vegetables, fruits, and healthy fats. People who follow this diet tend to live longer, but it's not low protein. On the flip side, the traditional Okinawan diet is low in protein but emphasizes plant foods and is low in calories. Both diets are linked to longevity, which suggests that focusing solely on protein might be missing the bigger picture. What many people don't realize is that longevity isn't just about what you eat. It's about how you live. Regular exercise, quality sleep, strong social connections, stress management, these all play massive roles. Diet is important, sure, but it's one piece of a much larger puzzle. If you take a step back and think about it, the idea that one nutrient could hold the key to aging is almost too simplistic. So, should you eat less protein? In my opinion, not based on this review. The evidence is compelling in animals, but it's far from conclusive in humans. What this really suggests is that we need more research, long-term studies that look at how protein restriction affects aging in real people with real lives. Until then, I'd say stick to the current recommendations. Aim for 15 to 25% of your daily calories from protein. Focus on minimally processed sources, and don't get sucked into the latest nutrition trend. A detail I find fascinating is how easily we jump on these headlines. Eat less protein to live longer. It's catchy, but it oversimplifies a complex issue. Nutrition isn't one size fits all, and what works for a lab rat might not work for you. Personally, I think the key is balance, not just in protein, but in everything. Eat a variety of foods, stay active, and don't stress too much about the latest study. After all, if you're constantly worrying about what you're eating, are you really living your best life? So, here's my takeaway. The idea that less protein might slow aging is intriguing, but it's not a green light to overhaul your diet. Instead, focus on the bigger picture. Eat well, move often, and enjoy your food. Because at the end of the day, longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. What do you think? Are you team protein or team moderation? Let me know in the comments below.